What is up, everybody? This is Recap Rewind. I'm J-Lag.
And I'm NB.
And this episode is reviewing You, Season 2, Episode 7. And it's called Ex-istential Crisis. And as always, to our continuing listeners and our brand new ones, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into the episode, y'all.
Oh, Episode 7. Daddy,
What
did you
an
like it?
Episode. So much happens, first of all. I liked it. I did like it. I'm so scared. I'm so nervous for Delilah.
Like, I'm terrified to watch the show.
Please don't touch our little angel. I'm just scared because the way that this episode went, I was so excited. So many emotions, like even when they hooked up, I was like, fuck, this is too much. I can't deal with it. Like, I was very scared for her, but also I was like low-key intrigued because I was like, maybe they can work. Like, I mean, obviously he's crazy. Obviously they're not going to work, but also I'm just like worried for her. Anyway,
yeah, I didn't like it the way it ended.
Yeah. Let's break it down on the main highlight point. So Will is sad because they're broken up. He's trying to get over love. And so I think he gets into some online dating because 40 is like, I don't want you to like quit because you're a douchebag and you're a liar, but just like get back out there. So he like signs up for a bunch of stuff. He goes on dates and shit this episode, which is kind of random.
Yeah, because the whole time he's sort of seeing love move on with this guy named Milo who was James, like her ex-husband's like best friend or whatever.
What did you think of that part of the story? Like this new guy coming in out of nowhere but still being involved in like her life from time.
I think, I don't know.
He must be a character in the book, so I guess it's like
maybe, yeah.
You needed to keep him in there.
He was freaking hot. The actor they chose was like
he was hot, yeah.
hot, so I was like, I don't even care. But
I love that he was Australian. It gave me like Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth vibes. I was like, she doesn't really love him, but
yeah. So this whole episode, he's seeing them like being all in love or whatever. So he's like, okay, maybe I'll try like the online dating thing. And like, there's a whole like montage of like him dating all these like crazy fucking girls online, and it's just not working out. And he's obviously still obsessing over love, right?
Fully obsessing. He like, even when he sees Miley, he's like, who the fuck is this guy? This guy's a creep. Like the way that his mind works, the way that he says like, oh, like love, that's fucked up. He's a predator. You need to get away from him. I need to save you. He's just insane. And
he
like the last time we heard,
himself.
Yeah, he convinces himself and he says these things to make himself feel better that he's doing the right thing. But we've seen this happen before. He did it with Beck and he killed like 4 people in between all that. So it's just, it's a lot to see it again. I almost felt like half of this episode, though, I will say, felt a little repetitive. Like,
yeah, they were definitely killing time. They were killing time that whole beginning with like him dating and like whatever. Even using the dating
apps, I was like, I don't need an education on new dating apps, bro. Like, I don't care.
Yeah. Like, I do have to say there's a part in the middle and we can just talk about it right now.
Yes.
So, and I was kind of shocked at this too, that he actually did this. He actually does go and stalk Milo, and I was like, bro, like I thought you stopped this thing. Like, what the hell's wrong with you?
And that's what upset me the most. Well, for one, the first thing I thought about was you, because you always make fun of the fact that all he wears is like a baseball cap, and like he thinks that's enough for him to fucking hide
really
his
quickly,
face.
It's funny that you're saying this right now because I was reading a review and the reviewer was like, I love that Joe thinks that like a blue baseball cap is like an invisibility cloak.
Bro,
like you're not, you look shady. Like you stand out.
You stand out even more having a fucking hooded baseball
cap. Like that's not LA. Like maybe that was New York, but that's not LA.
That ain't LA. So whatever, he follows Milo up Runyon Canyon, like basically, and he's just like, I guess I'm gonna have to push this guy off a cliff. Like, I don't know, we'll see. I can't keep up with him because he runs really fast because he's so muscular and strong. But I was like, are you fucking telling me that he is once again running after a person he wants to kill?
Why
just
do
like
you have
season
to kill
2?
Him? I don't get it. Like,
but
when
also,
did you go from A to like freaking F? Like, why?
I know, like, and that's what I mean. When he becomes obsessive, this is like what he turns to, and he even says it himself in the beginning of the episode. He's like, "Uh-oh, this is like Peach all over again."
Yeah.
He almost killed Peach the exact same way. True. I'm like, I don't know if this is sloppy fucking writing or what it is, or we're supposed to see this like deliberate parallel between what happens in season 1 and what happens in season 2. Like maybe that's what they were going with, but I feel like so much of this is so on the nose that I'm like, okay. And so like I start watching it, then I get annoyed because I'm like, this is so typical. And then they try to swing you into another direction, but then I'm like, but this isn't even that crazy either. But it does get better. I will say it does get better.
Yeah, and I didn't mind that as much because what happens is when he is lurking on Milo, Gabe sees him at the freaking running park, like where everyone walks.
Yeah.
And Gabe's like, oh my God, like, what are you doing here? And then he's like, oh, I just saw Milo too. Like, LOL, like, oh, everyone like runs here. And that sort of leads to Gabe basically doing like Reiki or like chakra healing, like whatever, on him.
Healing, yeah.
And it was a really like powerful scene. I was really impressed at the writing of this sequence.
I will say it's, one of my favorite scenes.
For sure.
One of my favorite scenes for sure. So yeah, what does go on in this scene? He has a flashback, right, with his mom.
Yeah.
And the whole thing,
what, I do have to say, like, I did appreciate it in this moment because we needed it, but like there were so many flashbacks this like leading up to this moment. I'm like, okay, but like we get that he has a fucked up childhood. I get that.
Right.
I get
We've
that.
talked about this before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we don't.
How many times are you going to cut to him as a sad kid? Like,
right.
Yeah. It doesn't justify you killing like 8 people.
Exactly. And I think that's the thing. It's like, no matter how hard and troubled your like life was, there's no reason for you to kill another human being. Like, even if they are a piece of shit, you know what I mean? Like it just doesn't add up the way that it's supposed to add up. And I think that, I don't know if it's the writer or what it is, but I think we talked about it even in our season 1 when we covered off the season 1 book and whatever. The book, what I took away from it is cut and dry, black and white. He's a serial killer. He has a skewed idea of what love is. But in this season, it's almost like he's blaming everything around him and every scenario he's kind of just like put into. And he's like, I don't know how I got here. Like, I don't know what happened. But we have to remember that he's a serial killer and he does a lot of things very deliberately and he is insane and he's obsessive. And it's just, there's no reason for you to be that level of crazy in love with someone, like to the point where you're killing people around her. Like, it's just too much. So anyway, whatever. That being said, this moment was pretty interesting to see because, yeah, Gabe breaks it down for him. He's like, speak your truth and feel how you want to feel. And like Joe, the acting in this was pretty good. Like, you know, Joe's like crying and he's like, I'm so sad and I want love. That's all I want. And Gabe says something along the lines of like, you know, you have to remember that you're all you need. And he's like, I'm all I need. And he's like crying. So he gets away from that feeling a little bit better about himself and happier. But I'm like, number 1, how long is that going to last? Number 2, you can't really change someone when they're a fucking murderer.
And you know what? I did love this whole scene. And I would love it for any character to really like get inside them and like, you know, heal this part of them that's been damaged for so long. But you're right. You can't fix this guy. Like he killed people. You've crossed the line. You're not a Dexter. Like Dexter only killed people that deserve to die. So you can't compare the situations. It's too late for me to want a happy ending for Joe.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's it. So, like if this had happened and maybe in season 1, maybe I would be like, okay, like there's hope for him or whatever, but we're too deep into this and he's killed way too many people.
Yeah. And I feel like, yeah, the damage doesn't justify the means. Like it just doesn't connect to me. And watching these scenes, as much as they are interesting to watch, and it reminds me of what we saw at the end of season 1, where Beck was writing that whole like lovely story about her backstory, and you're like, oh, there's heart here. The writing here is so good. And then you're like, but at the end of the day, she fucking died anyway. Like in this moment, I'm like, but at the end of the day, he's still a serial killer. Yeah, like we shouldn't care about him, like, you know, Gabe trying to heal him or make him feel better or whatever. Like you get a little peek into like his past and how his mom was you know, like an idiot, and she, you know, like took him to house to abusive, more abusive people in his life. Like, I get it, but like, no, that's not enough of a reason to be a serial killer. Yeah. So that moment happens, and all the while this is all happening, 40 gets the rights to the Dark Side of Love, and now he wants to kind of get into production. Somehow Ellie gets on this production. I'm sure that's gonna mean something later, like the fact that she's connected to this story now.
Yeah.
And then this big thing happens at I don't even know how to say it. Is it a Avarin, whatever, Nirvana backwards.
A Narvin or something?
A Navrin. Yeah, a Navrin. And Milo tells Love that he wants to stay in LA. He's like, I'm done traveling. I want to be with you. And that there's this whole thing that happens between him and Joe and 40. I don't remember if it happens now or later, but basically Milo is out of the picture by the end of this episode, right?
Because Milo doesn't accept 40. He's like, you're a fucking fuck up. Like, you're a loser. Like, how many years are you going to like support your brother, Love? And of course, that's the wrong way to go about the situation. And so Joe ends up stepping up and says like, you better get the fuck out of here. And Love is like obviously so impressed by that, by Joe's like, you know, sticking up for her and 40. So yeah, that's basically the end of Milo. He lasted like one episode.
By cute guy. So all the while, because of this chakra healing or whatever, Gabe is like, now you're on a juice cleanse. So everybody's like hanging out, doing a juice cleanse. He's back at home. Joe's back at home. And Delilah comes to visit because she has some good news. She's like, yo, I'm getting published in Variety. And he's so excited. As he's excited for her and saying like, congratulations, he pukes all over her like green juice. And then he passes out because it's like he has no energy. So after that happens, after she like cleans herself up, they end up going for, I guess, drinks to celebrate. Like they go outside and they just hang out. And then this is when they fuck, right? Like they had like a
cool night together or whatever. And then like he's like, I'm a weirdo. And she's like, I like weirdos. And I'm like, great. Do you really though? And then they basically can't control themselves. They can't walk back the fucking 1 block back to their house. Yeah. And they start fucking like at the back of the store. And then the police catch them. They get arrested. They're in jail. And right away, like, Joe's freaking out. This
so much of this
so stupid. Like,
so much of this is like, let me just get to the end of this. show.
Yeah. Like, and I was like, okay, arrest him now. Like, just please, can someone arrest Joe? Like, please.
Like, anybody.
Because he's freaking out. He's like, oh, they're gonna fingerprint me after. Like, they're gonna know I peed in a bottle. I'm like, sick. That's gonna come back into play. They're gonna get this asshole. And then, of course, in the end, 40 comes and bails them out. And they're free.
So, and this is when it gets really frustrating to watch a show like this, because they always do these like nick of time moments where he's literally just about to get processed. They're about to take his fingerprints. They're about to register him in the system. And just in that moment, that's when the policeman Fincher comes in and he's like, okay, you guys are both free to go. So he didn't have to be processed.
They would still process you probably.
They would still process you.
Like, they're not gonna just be like, oh, your mom's here, gotta go now. Like, no, like, they'd process you, and then whenever you're done, then you leave. It's jail.
Yeah.
I feel like there's so many instances like that, and I'm like, guys, the writing, come on. Like, no.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, so that happens. And because of this whole situation, they decide, like, Delilah's like, you know what, like, as much as you're like a cool guy or whatever, I think we should just be friends. Ellie sees them together the next morning and she's like, are you fucking serious? You're such a slut. Like, they just have a bit of a fight. And then she decides, like, okay, we're not doing this. Like, we're not gonna be together. And Joe's like, that's fine. I think I'm gonna just like obsessively hang out with Love from now on.
Yeah.
So that happens. And then this is when Delilah and Fincher have a conversation, like, over the phone, I think.
Yeah.
And he says, like, that guy's so shady. Like, who is that guy?
Because he recognized him from that night.
Yeah.
So in the jail, he was like, I know this guy, whatever.
Right.
And he calls Delilah up and he's like, I remember where that guy is from. He's like, he was walking across the street the night where like, and like, I love how he pieced everything together. He was like, it was so smart. He's like, that night that like Henderson died, I caught him and he was driving a cheap car, so he's poor. So he doesn't have money to buy these headphones, and I took the expensive headphones, and the headphones were sponsored by Hendy, so he must have killed Hendy. I was like, yo, like, how did you solve that? Like,
I was like, that's a reach, but okay, that worked, fine.
And she was like, she didn't believe it right away, but she was like, okay, like, that's weird, but like, whatever. Like, she didn't really believe it, but it does lead her to snoop, right?
Like, investigate. Yeah, she investigates even more. She finds a picture on Instagram seeing the fucking headphones with Henderson, and she's like talking to herself. She's like, no, that can't be real. Like, that's just a coincidence. Like, whatever he's saying is not true. But then she decides, as the, I guess, motel or whatever apartment manager, that she's gonna just go into Joe's place and snoop a little bit.
Yeah. So and I'm excited. At this point, I'm excited. I'm lit. I'm like, yes, girl, get it. You're my favorite character. Girl. Fucking unlock this investigation. Put this guy on blast. Let's do this. Episode 7. We're almost there. We're going to put him away.
We're almost there.
And so she's looking. She even finds the painting that he like had the hole behind, but he fucking did it up. There was no hole in the wall. He covered it. I'm like, what?
I was like, God damn it. I was like, how's it? First of all, it didn't even look like it was.
Yeah,
like,
you would notice that. Yeah, the paint job was like perfect.
The
like,
most perfect fucking wall, drywall or whatever. No. That's not even possible. But anyway, she finds the storage key like miraculously because it's like in a little container. She goes to the storage unit and she finds everything.
First of all, that would never happen. Like, you would never know which unit it was probably, or like, you know, like it's so, I mean, I guess like maybe the unit number was like on the fucking keys. Like, we don't know for sure, but let's just assume that like she gets there. And as she's snooping, she finds the box. She finds like the place where Will was staying, the cage. Yeah. And on the table, she finds, what does she find in a bag? It was in like a Ziploc bag. She finds like fingers or something. Her underwear or something?
So anyway, she finds like the box of underwear.
Basically.
Yeah, she finds every single piece of evidence. She finds the laptop, Hendy's laptop. She finds all this stuff. She starts taking pictures. As she's about to leave, Joe stops her, and he's like,
she's like this. First, she's like this. She's like, so she sees everything. She's like, wow, what a fucking creep, whatever. She calls the guy, and fucking it's his voicemail. Bro, tell him what you're seeing. Tell him where the fuck you are. She's like, hey, guess you're not there. All right, well, I gotta tell you something, but like, I'm not gonna tell you right now. So, but like, I'll tell you later. So I'm gonna tell you later. So bye.
I'm just gonna try to get.
I'm like, are you fucking serious?
Really annoyed right
now.
Like,
tell him where you are. Tell him you're at the storage unit. Tell him you found something on the guy. Call me back. Bye. Done. That's all you had to say. Like,
seriously, all you need to know.
Are you stupid? Yes, like, Delilah. Come on.
Come on, like, get it together. And that is the only reason why I'd be like, okay, I understand that she's doomed now. But at the same time, I was so fucking pissed. Like,
so
why
Joe comes in.
So Joe comes in. Yeah. He looks like he's about to cry because he's like, oh, God, now I gotta like, kill you shit. Now.
Like, you're in here. Like, I gotta keep you in here. And he locks her in.
He does say something insane. He's like, I was going to ask you out for dinner. And like, I was like, are you fucked? Like, you're so fucking nuts. He locks her in the cage, and that's how the goddamn episode ends. What do you think is going to happen next episode? I refused. First of all, I refuse to believe that you can kill a helpless girl as a white man on screen anymore. Like, it's 2020. We don't need to do this anymore.
You know what?
We don't need to see that shit anymore.
I really did believe him. Like, I don't think he's gonna kill her. Like, I really do believe him when he's saying, like, I'm gonna let you out to, like, whenever, like, you know.
I have so much anxiety about this because, like, the way this episode ends and the way the episode was with them, like, fucking, and I was like, oh, okay, like, I guess I can get into them hooking up with each other, and then I was like, I guess I can get into the fact that, like, they're just friends with benefits, so they can, like, fuck around all the time or whatever. And I was so excited to see her, like, actually catch him. Like,
that's when
what
she
starts to piece shit together. I was like, oh fuck, go Delilah, like, get it done. Like, he's still at work, he's not gonna be able to catch you. This motherfucker like speeds his way back
how
here.
Is she gonna get out now?
Like, oh,
how is she gonna get out? Like, he can't let her out because like she's gonna tell everyone the truth. So like, what the fuck's gonna happen? Like, if this girl dies, I'm gonna be so freaking pissed. Like, this is ridiculous.
In my mind, I've already canceled the show.
I hope like the cop like finds her or like tracks her phone or something. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
that's the thing. I hate when it's like this. Like that's what I mean. This like this tragic timing. It's like fucking
and then
Romeo
on
and
top of
Juliet.
that,
Like,
like,
oh, just in the nick of time.
You know what I hate too? How every technology like thing advantage works for Joe, but for other people it doesn't work. So like, if that was Joe right now, like she would have called the guy and would have said, "Hey, I'm here. This is what I'm doing. Call me back. Bye." No, she's a fucking moron when it comes to like sending even a text. She texted him like 2 seconds after that. She can't tell him where she is.
Shit.
But this guy
Send him
comes
a fucking
through.
pin.
This guy comes through.
Are.
And he's like, I had a nanny cam installed in my apartment everywhere, so I saw you right away. Like, bitch, weren't you like at work? What are you watching your nanny cam on the phone? Like, what are you doing?
Exactly. Or like maybe he got an alert. But also, once again, he has nanny cams. He has a cage. I thought this guy was a motherfucking.
That's what I mean.
Like
that's
man.
what I mean. Like everything is so advantageous for Joe, so that he can connect all the dots that he needs to connect.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just.
And then Delilah's like an idiot. She's a fucking reporter, and she's out here like making all the rookie moves like as much as possible.
Like,
you're not going to tell anybody
phone,
where
like,
you're
take
going.
Take photos, send them to the cop right away. Like, are you dumb?
Yeah.
I'd be like Facebook living that shit.
Like like fucking IG story that shit.
Like, imagine the minute you saw that cage, I'd be like, what the hell is this? Like, let me like Insta live this. Like, come on.
It's fucked. Like and now I'm just like worried because like we were saying all this time, Delilah's a great character. I love watching her on screen.
I will be pissed.
Like
I will be so pissed.
I'm terrified now to watch this fucking show. Like this entire like I don't know what I'm gonna do if she's dead. Like I'm so fucking nervous. Like I don't want to. Anyway, let us know what you guys thought about this episode. I'm so terrified. Like we're almost at the end, so it has to wrap up.
I just want it to end.
I just want it to be over at this point. Let us know what you guys thought about this episode. Comment below. I'd like to take this time to thank our patrons of the episode, our Rewinder squad, White, Nicole, Faith, our Lit Rewinders, Tina Ann, Sarge, Serena, Soleil, Kate, and Jessica, and our Mommy Rewinders, Becca, Sarah, Tamala, and Grace.
Thanks, guys. And if you would like to join our Patreon family, check us out at patreon.com/recap_rewind. If you join, you'll get access to all things Recap Rewind, exclusive contests, content, and updates.
And also make sure you guys are checking us out on all of our socials, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. You can also find us on all podcast platforms, Google, Spotify, iTunes. Like, subscribe, follow, review, and comment to stay engaged with us at Recap Rewind. Thanks for listening.
Bye.